Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Kasie Show, where top leaders spill the tea. Can you believe we are nearing the end of the first quarter of the year? It's crazy. So in this week's episode of Where Top Leaders Spill the Tea, we will meet my guest, Shaleen. Shaleen's initial background was in the engineering world. Yep, you heard me correctly. She was an engineer. I actually interviewed you, Shaleen, on my YouTube channel a while ago and learned that she was also a teacher at that big orange company, VIPKid, that I also worked for. Shaleen has created an online marketplace where she offers parents the option of connecting their child with pen pals and connect teachers with classes. And it is called Gestoria. So I think this is such an amazing deal. You know how I feel about you and Gestoria and everything. It's an awesome idea. So, and the Penpal Club sounds interesting. We're going to talk about that on a later date. But talking about your Penpal Club, I think the art of writing should never be lost, especially as teachers. I'm sure many of us feel the same way. Do you remember when you were a kid and you got like a letter in the mail and it just made you all happy? And so anyway, without further ado, let's meet Shaleen. Hey, Shaleen, it's great to see you again.
Hi, Kasie. Good to see you again. Thanks for welcoming me back again. I think this is like the third time that we've had an interview. So
yes. So what inspired you to become an entrepreneur, or as some of us call a teacherpreneur?
Well, I would like to say that it was kind of a natural progression for me. And when I say natural, that does not mean easy.
Right.
Just kind of natural for me, because you did mention that I have an engineering background. So I do have an engineering degree. And if you know an engineer, then you kind of understand their personality a little bit. I mean, you'll understand, exactly how we are. We're forward thinkers. We're always trying to solve a problem and that type of thing. So I think, me being an engineer and also some of the other things that we'll talk about just really led to that progression of me starting a business and then transitioning and starting another business that's very successful right now.
Awesome. So, hey, Mary is here. Hey, Mary, she said, hey, friends, love the name of your website, Shaleen. A Penpal Club is a fantastic idea.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Mary is actually another teacher too.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So knowing what you know now, is there anything you would go back and tell yourself when you were first starting out? I love asking this question.
You know what? The thing that comes to mind when you ask that question is don't start a business just because you think it's a good idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have a lot of talented people out here, right, in the world today. And, we're always coming up with ideas and things like that. And just because it's a good idea doesn't mean that it's going to be successful, meaning that you're going to get clients or that you're going to make money from it or that type of thing. And my phone is ringing. I should have told everybody, don't call me right now and turn off my phone.
I heard something, but it wasn't loud at all.
Yeah. I'm worried that the next phone is going to ring after this.
Oh, no.
I know, right? Yeah.
They can't get you on the cell.
Exactly. So that's the one thing I would say, just to kind of steer away from just that, oh, it's a good idea, let me start a business type thing. Another thing I would say, first starting out, I wish that although I have this skill now, I wish I knew a lot more about sales and marketing. And this was at the very, very beginning, right? I thought in my head, oh, I have a great idea. People are going to want it. It's going to sell. But it doesn't work like that. So you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, because there's a lot to it. There's a lot of different avenues out here to market yourself, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook, whether it's your own platform that you have. But it's not even only that. It's the intricate details, knowing how to reach a customer, knowing what to say, having a strategy in place, something that really actually works. So yeah. And
algorithms.
Algorithms. Yeah, I mean, the
Ugh.
algorithms are, crazy. And I would, Facebook groups is a great thing that Facebook has created. And if you could insert yourself into groups, and I know we're in a group today, right?
Mhm.
Then I think it's great if you can do that. But even within groups, there are strategic things that you can do in order to advertise what it is that your product or service is as well.
Awesome. Yes,
Mhm.
we are in one big group. So, yeah, and welcome to this group. You weren't a part of it ahead of time. So, this is Women Helping Women Entrepreneurs, and it is 500,000 amazing business women in here. So, I love it.
That's a lot. I can't wait to explore the group a little bit more. And thanks for inviting me to the group.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, Shaleen, what advice would you give to someone who is just starting out in offering resources to online educators?
Hmm. So online educators. Well, there's so much out here in the world of education these
Mhm.
days, right? You have the platform that I was on, VIPKid. You have the other ones out here as well too. And I would just say there's so many things floating around in my head, but the top thing that comes to mind is take your time and find out what platform could be best for you. Because what I
Mm,
see is so many teachers or educators just jumping into so many things just because, someone mentions it. So take some
yeah.
time and do a little bit of research yourself. Go into Facebook groups, see what others are saying, and don't be afraid to ask questions, to people
Mhm.
who have been there, done that.
Right. So now your business, your site is actually a great resource as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, the site that I run today is an awesome site for families. It's a
Mhm.
Penpal Club. So you guys know the old school age of writing letters and receiving letters in the mail and that type of thing. That's basically what it is. So it's a pen
Mhm.
pal club for families. It's just a kid site, not for adults. No, you can't have a adult pen pal, but that would be I guess that would be fun too. Maybe that's
Right.
something down the road. But basically families get to come onto the site and safely find friends around the world. And there are kids from everywhere. We have kids all across the United States. We have some in Canada, Philippines, Uganda, Australia. But most of the families that you'll find on the site are from the United States.
Wow, okay.
Mhm.
So what do you feel are good qualities or qualities of a good entrepreneur?
Hmm. Qualities of a good entrepreneur. Oh, there are quite a few things that I would say. One of the things that comes to mind is to know when to tweak your product or service.
Mm,
Okay. And I know we probably don't always, think like that, but if you want to have a successful business, you may start off with something and it
yeah.
just may not work. Okay.
Mhm.
So be willing to tweak things, tweak until you get it just right.
Yeah. Or it blossoms into something you weren't expecting.
That can happen too,
Right.
because actually, my online business started off as something else in a different industry. And as I saw the market changing and I paid attention to what was going on, I transitioned it to something different. And now we're
Yeah.
here with a pen pal club.
So that's interesting you say that because a lot of the top leaders I've had on here are basically like, be ready to pivot. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. The pandemic hit. So my last guest had to pivot there as well. So,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the world is changing so fast around us. What works today maybe doesn't work the next day
yeah.
or even next year,
Right.
So definitely be willing to pivot. And the thing is that, you'll find that sometimes things kind of go back and maybe you can still do some of those things or whatnot. So yeah, be willing to change, be willing to pivot. Mm-hmm, for
So
sure.
what made you decide to leave VIPKid and create your own marketplace?
Well, it's interesting because I actually had both going on at the same time. Same time. Yeah, I had them both going on
Okay.
at the same time. So with VIPKid, the company went through some things. And so with
Yeah.
that being said, I decided to go full blown with what I was doing with my business. And so that's basically what happened. And what I was seeing um, is basically these families out here that really weren't getting the social interaction due to the pandemic and everything that was going on. Kids are in the home or they're homeschooling. They're not getting out. They're not meeting with friends. They're feeling lonely, which is a big deal as a kid, you know, to
Right.
feel lonely. You know, no one wants their kid to feel lonely. And so I saw a lot of that happening. And with that, I decided, you know what, I think this is the direction that I want to go in. Let's get kids being more social and meeting each other, and not just in their own area, across the world.
Excellent. Love
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, things have shifted a little bit. What does a typical day look like for you?
Oh, from like morning to night? Oh, it's crazy. Well, the good thing is, you know, I go and get my coffee. This is not an advertisement, but
Oh, yeah, right.
yeah, I have to go
Actually, I have Dunkin' in my cup today,
Oh, you do?
but it's just a K cup. But yeah, I bought a bunch of the dark ones.
Oh, yeah. And I make them here at home too, but it's just something about getting in my car and going and talk to the people there and
Right.
getting my coffee. So I wake up in the morning, have my coffee, but it's really filled with appointments, me meeting with family after family after family to get them into the Penpal Club, because that's one thing that is very, very important to me is safety. And so I meet with the families on Zoom and we decide if it's a good fit for them and for their family and what they're looking for. And they get in the Penpal Club. And I mean, my days are filled with that. I think we have maybe about close to 350 kids that are part of the Penpal Club now. Yeah. And it's only started just 4 months ago. So it's growing.
Excellent. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing your tips with us. Is there anything else you want to let some of these business women know about getting started with a business or anything business in general?
Oh my goodness. You know, well, I like when you ask me specific questions because I can answer you, but when you ask me that, there's so many things on top of my head, but you know, I would definitely say, if you're starting a business, I know sometimes people say don't pay attention to the competition, okay, but that's not true. You should look at your competition. You should really look at your competition, and some of your competition can actually help you become better at your business and see what's lacking, I guess, in their area and figure out what you can do. Maybe what's that one or two little things that you can actually have in your business to make clients more interested in you. So yeah.
Yeah, how you can stand out away from competition.
Yeah, definitely how you can stand out. Yeah. Kasie, and you're great. Thanks so much for having me here. You're a great interviewer.
So glad you could come on today. So you gave us so much to think about. How can people get in touch with you or take a look at the Penpal Club if they're here for their kids? I know most of them are businesswomen in this group, but many of us have kids as well. So
yeah, I'm sure a lot of you there. I'm looking at you. Well, I'm not really looking at you, but I'm sure a lot of you, you all here do have kids. The Penpal Club ranges from ages, I would say about 4, but typically it's 5. So let's just say 4 to 18. Okay, so if you have kids that are ages 4 to 18 and interested in meeting friends from around the world, then you guys can just go to gueststoria.com and you'll see exactly where to go there, and you can set up a Zoom appointment with me. We'll talk. I'll get to know a little bit about you. You can know more about the Penpal Club and hopefully get you in.
All right, I just put gueststoria.com in the chat box, so if you're looking for it, it's there. So thank you so much, Shaleen, and thank you for those that are watching now or coming back for the replay. And stay tuned next week. We'll see you all every Tuesday at this time. Bye, Shaleen.
Bye.
Good to see you again. Thanks.